We all have a favourite crate, don't we? The crates from Crash Bandicoot 4. Kratos from God of War. Crate Winslet from Titanic. Here's your new favourite crate, you suckers, Wrestle Crate. And Cultaholic is main eventing Wrestle Crate in November with an exclusive t-shirt that you cannot buy on Cultaholic shops. Sign up and use the code Cultaholic, and in your first mystery box, you will get a signed autograph bundle from us here at Cultaholic. WrestleCrate.co.uk for more information. Anyway, that's crate news. Here's your wrestling news. A major return is planned for tonight's episode of Smackdown. Future plans for the NXT Cruiserweight title have been revealed. And we have a backstage update on Finn Balor's NXT status. We'll talk about it in a bit. A big return planned for SmackDown tonight. If I was to say to you, yes, that's right, Mantor back on Friday nights where he belonged. No, it's Daniel Bryan, isn't it? Bryan is back on television. We haven't seen anything from Daniel Bryan since back in June during his time away from WWE shenanigans. He and Brie Bella became parents once more. They welcomed their second child, Buddy, onto planet Earth back in August. And Daniel Bryan set to make a big return on the season premiere of Friday Night SmackDown tonight. Now, in terms of what is going to happen with Daniel Bryan, we don't quite know. Last time we saw him, there was some stuff happening around the Intercontinental Championship. There was stuff involving him and Drew Gulak. Whether or not they will pick that up, because Gulak very much seems to be off doing his own thing now. So whether this is like a hard reset for Daniel Bryan, he's a big player to get back on the books as well. I'd love to see Daniel Bryan once again in that top picture. I mean, I don't see a Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns long-term feud, but certainly if you wanted somebody to square up to Roman Reigns in sort of the run between sort of November and the Royal Rumble, I think Daniel Bryan will be a good fit for that. Also on SmackDown tonight, it's a big night for SmackDown. Braun Strowman and Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship is going down. We've got the farewell of the New Day as Big E, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods team up for the last time to team up against Sheamus, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Cesaro in six-man tag team actions before they're all split off separate ways. Jeff Hardy goes up against Lars Sullivan tonight on SmackDown as well. Lots of stuff going down. Sam will be along tomorrow to talk all about it on SmackDown Graded. So we welcome Daniel Bryan back to Friday nights on SmackDown. Also, if you watched NXT last night, you'll see another return to WWE in the form of Jordan Devlin. Now, Devlin hasn't been part of WWE's plans since the Speaking Out movement, and they said they were looking into allegations made against Jordan Devlin, and he was taken from television. He is since, as of last night, back on the roster as part of NXT UK. And this kind of paints some pictures as to what the plans are going forward with the NXT Cruiserweight Championship, because as we know, when Jordan Devlin was taken off television, he was the reigning Cruiserweight Champion, and an interim Cruiserweight Champion was to be determined as a result of Devlin being unable to take to stateside. So they had obviously everything that went down with the Cruiserweight tournament, and Santos Escobar now has that belt. And last night on NXT UK, Jordan Devlin very much states his claim as still being the Cruiserweight Champion, and very much throws down towards Santos Escobar. Escobar has responded to Jordan Devlin on Twitter saying, since we're quoting, let me quote a more credited source. Every bit of that NXT Cruiserweight Championship was about seizing opportunity. Congratulations to Escobar, a division-changing talent, and it's still all his. Hashtag NXT TakeOver, a quote from Triple H. So we are clearly building towards some unification between Devlin and Escobar. When that will happen, we don't know. Obviously, at the moment, traveling to and from the States isn't particularly easy, if at all possible, for many people. So this is something that I can imagine they might just keep bubbling over until there is some more movement between the countries, what with the whole COVID thing. But Devlin making a return on NXT UK last night. So it was reported yesterday that over the GCW Collective weekend, there had been a report of a COVID-19 positive test with one of the performers there. Since then, there's been a couple more who've come forward who've also tested positive for COVID. And unfortunately, an event like this, over 3 nights, 12 wrestling promotions, 100 plus wrestlers, all in the same venue, it's going to have ramifications, and it has done, unfortunately. So for Ring of Honor, they've put out a message saying that they're pulling any talent, or a majority of talent that were involved in GCW's collective weekend as a precaution. So Ring of Honor officials made the decision yesterday that a number of talent who were in contact with those testing positive at the collective weekend would not be part of the TV tapings for Ring of Honor this month. Joe Koff put out a statement to the Wrestling Observer where he said, while Ring of Honor does not publicly discuss specific internal decisions, Ring of Honor is taking every measure to preserve the integrity of its rigorous health and safety protocol for upcoming tapings. Ring of Honor had some really strict COVID testing in place. I'm not surprised that this decision has been made. The collective also issued a statement as well following the event, encouraging all who attended, from wrestlers to fans, to do some COVID testing of their own to make sure that they were okay. They also put out there that the wrestlers involved who had tested positive had contacted everybody they'd been in contact with privately before putting it out into social media. I know there's a few people that were upset as to why you would advertise, why you'd put that out into the world and not tell specific people. Specific people, we understand, were told. I think it's worth knowing because you'd want to be told privately before finding out on Twitter, wouldn't you? Eyes are currently on NXT and Finn Balor. Balor, who broke his jaw at TakeOver 31, currently recovering from surgery to repair it. And William Regal said that he said on NXT this past Wednesday they're going to monitor the situation over the next couple of weeks before they make a decision. Obviously, if Finn Balor is making a speedy recovery, then things can continue as normal. If there's any complications or any concerns, there might have to be something else in place. And this isn't just something they've said on television, this is something that goes backstage. So we can update you on some backstage news regarding NXT. This comes from Fightful, who say WWE are now very much looking at their options as it pertains to the NXT champion Finn Balor and his jaw injury. It was reported also with EWN, who say that Balor's broken jaw may lead to some changes for plans, and they are now apparently pitching ideas backstage at NXT for the quote-unquote worst case scenario. So there is a real concern here that Finn Balor could potentially be out of action for longer than expected. And this has been such a tough year for NXT with these injuries coming out of nowhere, and I guess that they know how bad the luck has been for them, so I guess they're getting things in place in the event that Finn Balor is no longer able to compete. It could just be another blow for NXT to have to vacate the title again. But that's your update from backstage. NXT people coming together, and they're all pitching ideas now for what to do in the event that Finn Balor is unable to continue, if the worst case scenario happens, as reported by Fightful. Obviously, when we know more about the status of Finn Balor, we'll let you know more as well. You can find out the latest by going to cultaholic.com. And finally, we here at Cultaholic are paying our respects to WXW Hall of Famer Carsten Beck, who passed away this week following a battle with brain cancer. WXW put out a statement yesterday saying, we say farewell to a Hall of Famer wrestler, a unified world wrestling champion, a world Triangle League winner, our director of sports, our colleague, our companion, our friend. We wish Carsten's family and Ruth, those who have walked along with Carsten until the very end, all the strength in the world. We miss you, Carsten. At just 33 years old, Carsten Beck is away. If you watch WXW, you will know the impact that Carsten Beck has made. He was just one of the great heels of WXW, and everybody that came through Germany had some kind of run-in with Carsten Beck, it seems like. A great match with him and El Generico that saw shenanigans from Carsten Beck. We saw Carsten Beck and Vince Russo in cahoots of all people. Above all of that, he was beloved for his antics. He retired in 2016 following the diagnosis of a brain tumor, made a return in 2017 and looked like he was back for good, but unfortunately more surgery meant that he had to ultimately step away. He took an on-screen role within WXW, and as we have reported this morning, sadly, his battle with brain cancer has ended. So we here at Cultaholic send nothing but love to the friends and family of Carsten Beck. It's been another tough week for professional wrestling. We lost Carsten, Beck, and as we reported yesterday, we lost Ryan Smile. 2 guys who just went way too soon. If you can do one thing today, be nice, because the world is heavy enough as it is right now, and hold those you love close, you know? Do that today, and do that this weekend. And of course, whatever you do, stay safe. Love you, bye.